She raised her glass and smiled, that polished, camera-ready smile she learned from her father. "How does it feel," she said, voice dripping with champagne and triumph, "watching me succeed while you do nothing?" Laughter. Around the table, polished forks paused mid-air. Executives, relatives, parasites, all joined in the chorus. Even her father laughed. I didn't. I stared at her over the rim of my glass, my reflection splitting in the wine surface like a broken truth. "Don't be mad," she added, leaning close. "I'm just teasing." I smiled back. "Teasing is fun," I said. "Want to hear mine?" The table fell silent before the storm broke. "I own 77% of your company," I said, "and now you're fired." The sound that followed, forks clattering, her breath catching, the room tilting, was better than applause. She used to laugh differently, not this public, performative kind. I met her 6 years ago, in a coffee shop she thought was beneath her social class. She wore ambition like perfume, thick, expensive, intoxicating. I was just a consultant then, quiet but effective. She said she loved that about me, that I was the calm in her chaos. She called me her anchor. I should have known she meant something heavy to drag when storms came. Her father hated me from day one. The old man saw through people like glass, except his daughter. He built an empire from manipulation and called it mentorship. When we married, he gave her a position in sales to teach her the ropes. I wasn't invited to the company. I didn't belong, not in their world. But I watched. Quietly. Always quietly. It started with whispers. Late-night calls she ended too quickly. Business trips that stretched an extra day. Her perfume lingering on clothes she didn't wear to work. When I asked, she smiled. Always the smile. "You're imagining things, darling. I'm just busy. Success takes time." She wasn't lying. Success does take time, and betrayal takes patience. It wasn't another man I found in her phone. It was worse. It was her and her father, planning to buy out a partner company, using insider knowledge, mine. They were leveraging my consultancy reports to make millions and laughing about it. Her message to him read, "He thinks he's helping me shine, poor thing." I didn't confront her, not then. Anger is for amateurs. I've seen anger ruin men faster than betrayal ever could. I simply started watching more carefully. Her father's company, a glossy facade of legacy and lies, was built on shell subsidiaries, offshore accounts, and 1,000 quiet favors. I traced every one. They thought I was naive. They didn't know I had been documenting everything, every backdoor deal, every falsified report. I began acquiring, quietly, indirectly, shares buried under borrowed names, partnerships through intermediaries. While they toasted at galas, I was in boardrooms, signing papers that shifted their kingdom grain by grain into my hands. She'd come home late, eyes sparkling from success. "I closed another deal today," she'd say. I'd smile. "Good for you." And it was. Every deal she closed raised the company's valuation, and with it, my stake in it. By the time her father fell ill and she took the reins, I already held the knife. She just hadn't noticed. Tonight's dinner was her victory lap. Top salesperson, her father's proud heir. The ballroom smelled like money and arrogance, their favorite perfume. I was the quiet husband again, the ornament at the edge of her empire. Until she spoke. "How does it feel watching me succeed while you do nothing?" The room laughed because it was true, or so they thought. That's the thing about power, it hides best behind weakness. I took a sip, letting the silence stretch before snapping it in half. "I own 77% of your company," I said, "and now you're fired." The color drained from her face like a sunset dying too fast. Her father's fork slipped from his hand. No one laughed this time. She whispered, "That's not possible." "It wasn't," I said, "until you made it so. Every deal you celebrated, every contract you signed, was mine to approve." I slid an envelope across the table. Inside were the documents, share transfers, notarized and final. Her signature was on them. She'd signed them all herself, hidden among dozens of minor filings she never read. I used her ambition against her. Her pride made her blind. Security arrived quietly, my security, not her father's. The board had been informed hours ago. The transition was already in motion. As they escorted her out, she looked back, not at me, but at the people who no longer met her eyes. In business, loyalty ends at the scent of power. Her father's expression didn't change. He simply adjusted his tie as if acknowledging defeat from one player to another. I gave him a nod. He raised his glass. No words, just understanding. When I got home, the house was quiet. Her perfume still lingered, but the air felt cleaner somehow. I sat by the window, watching the city lights flicker like dying stars. For a moment, I wondered if I'd gone too far. Then I remembered the message. He thinks he's helping me shine. Poor thing. Maybe I was a poor thing once, not anymore. They say revenge doesn't heal you. They're right, it doesn't. But it restores balance, and sometimes that's enough. Tomorrow, the papers will announce a leadership restructuring at her father's firm. They'll call me a strategic investor, a visionary. They won't know the truth, that I was just a man who refused to stay humiliated. I finished the wine she left half drunk at dinner. It tasted like victory, sharp, dry, and earned. I raised my glass to the empty room. "Teasing is fun," I said quietly, "but I always play to win."